Hey, Shalom Markins, Vakama Kapashim, James London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chachwadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of James, and Shalom out there to the whole world, expedition, truth, and all sincerity. Okay, back with another video. Got this other article here from update.com. This one says here, why half the world's population could be overweight or obese by 2035. Now, with everything else in the world and Esau's rulership, right? People believe that we're in some sort of progressive world, that we're moving forward as humanity, right? We're getting better at things and technology and this and that and blah blah blah, right? But it just seems like everything that this world produces under Esau, right, has this negative knock-on effect that really isn't progressive at all, right? And diet is one of those things where, food is, well, food is, I'm gonna correct this statement in a second, but food has become more readily available now than any other time, in the history of the world, right? It's mass produced, especially in the West and, in these types of places, right? And it's over produced, all right? So things that were like kind of like luxury items are more commonly found, eating meat and, uh, dainty things, sweet things, and, outside of fruits, obviously, right? They've become already available and people indulge on these things, right? They're no longer luxuries. You can get them easy. My correction to the statement is obviously that's starting to go back to how things used to be, with food shortages and whatever. But just in general, with Esau's kingdom, he has provided or created these things, because the world would say, oh, it's good that we have all this access to food. And yeah, you got options and choices now that you never had before. You have an abundance of things, right? So yeah, the choice is good and everything, but it's created, these bad eating habits, which is really destroying us and giving us all kinds of sick, illnesses and diseases, right? And obesity is one of these problems that, people can't control, right? Or have lack of control, right? What they are eating and the effects it's having on their body, because they've become like addicted to certain types of foods, which is not good for us, all right? Because of the lifestyle that kind of Esau pushes, the fast foods and, like I said, all the sweet things, the fucking fizzy drinks and all these types of stuff, right? And this is causing an obesity problem, and again, obesity brings disease, diabetes and shit, lack of physical fitness, things like this. And we're not meant to be like this, as I'll speak for myself, I'm not in the best conditions, you know what I'm saying? But we're meant to be more healthy, right? Because we're meant to have a more balanced diet. We're meant to be eating things, kind of like before, like it was back in the day, like things like come in seasonally. It wasn't that we had options to have everything all the time. You didn't get certain things all year round, because you wouldn't be able to produce it, right? From the the weather or whatever, right? But this overindulgent society that Esau has created, this decadent society, as it meant that we just binge and drink and grow fat. We've got fucking lazy ass jobs out there. You sit in the office or whatever. It's, work is less labor intensive, because he's still got machines to do certain things and whatever now, because this is all part of his progressive society, his progressive world. We don't need hard labor. Well, there's still hard labor out there, but we got machines to do certain of the work. We got all this food, and we got all this technology, we got all this, and it's put to us in the guise of progressiveness, but really it has damaging effects on people's bodies, on people's minds, and people's living standards. It's not really progressive. Okay, when we're in power, when the Israelites are in power and ruling over the earth, we're gonna see what progress really looks like. All right, and people's living standards and whatever. We're gonna see what that really looks like. Because under Esau, man, you know, it's a very double-edged sword, and it benefits those who are wielding that sword. Okay, which, you know, Esau's one of the rulership, so he wields that sword and benefits out of these kind of situations. Whereas, you know, we think we're benefiting, but we're not really. You know, there's problems associated with it. But anyway, enough of me talking, because let's get some of this article and get some scriptures, right? So it says more than half the global population will be overweight or obese by 2035 if prevention, treatment, and support do not improve, according to World Obesity Federation. So it is. I mean, you gotta have whole fucking organizations just to tackle, you know, this type of shit now. You know, just to tackle this, eating the right diet. You know what I mean? And it's absurd. Like, why is there a whole like organization dedicated to fighting obesity? This really shouldn't be an issue, a global issue, but it is under Esau's rulership. You know. So it's also estimated that the economic impact of being overweight and obese will surpass 4 trillion in the next 12 years, at almost 3% of global GDP. This is comparable with the impact of CV-19 in 2020, a report said. It's believed that 4 billion people will be affected if current trends continue, as children are likely to experience the biggest increase in obesity, right? Because their parents are not feeding them right, because they got less time, because they're always at fucking work. Both parents, you know, and so they can't really, you know, make them proper food, right? So it's processed food, it's quick food, you know what I mean? It's, you know, takeaways and whatever. That's what, you know, a lot of the kids are being fed on these days, man. You know, because parents don't have the time now because of the society, you know, that Esau kind of created. And you know, Esau goes to extremes, right? Because, you know, now he's making people unemployed and that. So technically, you know, more parents are at home than there has been recently. But they're broke. They're broke ass poor, and all they can afford is cheap food. You know, and cheap food, or even though we got that saying cheap and happy or whatever, it ain't really, man. We're eating shit food, man. Cheap food is shit food, right? And even stuff that's supposed to be healthy, like things like, you know, certain fruit and veggies that are meant to be organic, like why they're more expensive than the cheaper options, when really they shouldn't be, you know. So you can only afford the lowest quality of food, you know, if you're poor. So naturally your health is going to be shit, you know. And that's what they're feeding the kids on, that's what they're eating, you know. Fucking for you pork lovers, man, fuck it, was it sausage and beans in the tin? You know what I'm saying? That's what these, you know, these guys will be eating out here, man. You know, you go, hey, you know what? Hey, anyone that knows what that burger is, man. Okay, that's a very distinguishable burger, right? Know where exactly where it came from, right? It's a Mackie D's burger right there, right? Big Mac, right? And that's a, you know, that's it. This is all part of the problem. These fast food chains, yeah, that Esau, you know, allows to, you know, run the scene. But anyway, it says the report said childhood obesity could more than double by 2035 from 2020 levels. Rates are predicted to double among boys to 208 million, 100% increase, and more than double among girls. So girls, because as well, really, you know, these foods, man, they're demonic. Okay, they got demons on them, right? And you got demons on you, man, and they're making you eat, you know, when you're bored, when you're, you know, feeling anxious, depressed, and all this shit, man. Because these are demons fucking with your mind. Because, you know, these things are toxic, man. Okay, they're fucking with your spiritual balance, man. Okay, toxifying you, man, making you do it more and more. Like I said, it's like an addiction. They you know what I mean? These foods are not good for us, man. You know, and it's affecting your body, affecting your mind state, right? And as I said, the girls, they're more susceptible to that. That's why these numbers are higher for them, 125%, right? Because they do it, their mental integrity isn't, you know, quite as strong as men and boys and whatever, right? So they're more susceptible to, you know, feeling depressed and blah 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 blah, right? Without getting too fucking technical with it, right? It says lower income countries are also expected to be hit hardest by obesity. Because here we go. Here's the correlation. Right, I was mentioning, right. Of the 10 countries with the greatest expected increase in obesity globally for both adults and children, 9 of those are from low or middle income countries. So even middle income people are not really, you know, they're considered poor, really, right? All are either from Asia or Africa, right? So there's a big uptake in these places, right? Because it's already fucking mad crazy here in UK and the US and these types of places, right? It appears that the pandemic has had lasting effects on the world population. It's staying in more. Right? The report suggests there could be a link between lockdowns and obesity due to lack of a movement outside the house, Uber Eats, you know what I mean, Deliveroo, all these things, like the ease of access to this food, man. Okay, it's ridiculous, right? Exacerbation, convenient for sure, but ridiculous, right? Exacerbation of dietary and sedentary behaviors linked to weight gain and a significant reduction in access to care. You know what I mean? The NHS lists and stuff like that. You can't get into hospital. You can't get, the advice you need. You might need medical advice or whatever. Really, you just need to get up and work out, man. Do some exercise, and cut down this shit. And I speak for myself as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this lifestyle that we live that kind of fucks with you, man, and you feel, low energy and anxious and shit. Don't make you want to fucking do anything, man. I know brothers, suffer from shit like that for various different reasons, But even ourselves, we need to fucking, keep this shit to a minimal, man, and exercise and work out and shit. Exercise is profit little, man, but you can't be, stuck in the house doing nothing, putting on weight. Like, it's not healthy. Not for your body, not for your mind. All right? Because we got shit to do, man. We've got, bread to get. You know, if you fucking put on this weight and there, you might have a particular type of job, man. You can't do your job properly, man. Or you this close to having a fucking heart attack or some shit. So we have to take care of this flesh because it's fucking weak, man. And if you don't look after it, man, no doubt it's gonna fall apart, man, at an alarming rate. You know what I'm saying? So we do need to, mind these things, even just, maybe just a little bit, Obviously, we will just want to get the hell out of here and get these new bodies, but, we got to be here right now, right? So let's do what we can, right? So also, lower income countries are often the least able to respond to obesity and its consequences. But this is the progressive world that we're living in, right? Under Esau's leadership, his guidance, he's light bearing, because these elites are the least for the light bearers, right? They want all this great wisdom and knowledge that they're bestowing upon the world, and look at the greatness it's bringing everybody. Yeah, give me a break. All right, so that's pretty much it. I don't need to read the rest of that. Let's grab a couple scriptures, right? All right, let's get Isaiah 29 verse 9. So stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken but not with wine, they are staggered but not with strong drink, right? And this is going into philosophies and things like this, right? And I'm extending it to our way of life, how we live, how people live, man. And like I said, Esau has provided us this world where cheap crap food is easily accessible, meats and pastries and sweets and all these kinds of things. They're just everywhere for us to get, and the easiest things to get. And health wise, it don't benefit us because we don't live a life where it's like you're gonna burn all that off. You know what I mean? We're not working in not all of us are working in the field like that. As I said, there's a lot of Esau environments in the offices and shit like that, sitting down, not doing very much, sedentary as they put it, right? So eating this kind of crap, man, is only gonna have a negative impact on your body because you're not even expelling it from your body through work. You know what I'm saying? So it's just sitting there, and it's just fucking with your body. All right, so that's the kind of state, or the kind of the way of life that Esau's kind of given us, man. We've all, well, a lot of us have kind of fell into that and have to deal with its consequences. Like I say, Esau overproduces everything, man. He's a waster, right? But because there's people out here, you know, on lower incomes and stuff like that, man, they're just buying this shit up, man, because that's what they can afford, you know. So Jeremiah 51 verse 7, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. So, beginning with America, like they kind of really revolutionized the world and its industrial processes and all this kind of stuff here, man. Before, it wasn't quite as crazy as this, but even going way, way back, man, like I said, food wasn't, readily available like that. You might have fruit trees and stuff, vegetables around and whatever, but, meat and, like I say, sweets and stuff like that, it wasn't, like how it is now, right? Meat back in the day wouldn't be something you'd be eating every day, kind of thing, you know. So the nations are drunken of a wine, follow their ways, and therefore the nations are mad, right? Because you're having to deal with shit like this now, and like I say, your health's at risk, everybody, risk it getting fucking diabetes and cancers and whatever, man, because the body isn't set right. It's not being fueled with, the right nutrients, right things that it needs to operate on a a decent scale, right? We're finding our bodies full of shit, and that's why our bodies don't respond or they don't operate like it's supposed to operate. We ain't meant to have guts. You know what I'm saying? You're running around, you feeling your belly jumping up and down, man. Man, it's uncomfortable as hell, man. Ain't meant to be there. Some of us have got them guts. Some of us don't. But they shouldn't be existing. You know what I'm saying? So not like this, not like this, dude. I'm going. All right. First Corinthians chapter 1 verse 20 says, where is the wise and where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world, right? Esau's the one in charge. He the one, well, him and these organizations, they're the ones coming up with, oh, we should do this, we should do that. But Esau at the top, right? Like I said, he's pushing all these companies, pushing everyone to, into this lifestyle that ain't conducive, right? So have not God made the foolish the wisdom of this world, right? So this idea that we're being progressive and all this technology is benefiting us and blah blah blah, it doesn't really look like it, when you really deep it, right? Even this social media, or bringing people closer together, or making the world a bit smaller, and keeping contact with your friends and family and blah blah blah. Yeah, it sounded good, but what seems to happen now is a lot of people are just getting depressed, man, and feeling anxious, especially children, because they because you got a bunch of fake shit, like the internet's full of just fakeness, man. There's very little truth in the internet, right? Very little truth in the internet, right? But and people just being made to feel fucking depressed and shit. Okay, so it's meant to make them feel happier, so it's supposed to have been, being close to everybody and that's feeling not alone and that, but people just feel more isolated, which is odd, right? It's like I remember back in the day, like, we used to play computer games and that, man. You had your friends around your house, man. You have a bit of competition, man, bit of banter, bit of competitive, competition and that between the, nah, like, you got, find friends online, you might not ever see them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and depending on what everyone's lifestyle is like, maybe some man not playing games no more, but you got to find some online friends to play games with and pretend like you've been friends forever. But you never met them, man. Man, are in, like, we're in the UK, you're paying with someone from fucking New Zealand or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. And that's your friend now, like, some digital online friend you've never met to make you feel like you're embracing. But, the world's a weird, funny place nowadays, And, yeah, it needs to go. All right. But this is the Esau's great world, right? Genesis chapter 6 verse 12, and God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon earth. See, people don't know how to live right upon the earth, man, because they've been corrupted by Esau's you know, writing these philosophies and stuff, man. And not just him, it's always been a thing on earth, man. But you know, just concentrating on this particular kingdom, um, it's void of knowledge and wisdom, which is something we're supposed to be, you know, this world's supposed to be full of, right? Because that's how Esau, you know, promotes it, like all these great fucking breakthroughs in knowledge and all this kind of stuff. We're meant to be smart. We're meant to be more wise, and yet we ain't. Yet these people are more useless than they've probably ever been. You know, and you meet them, and people ain't got no brain cells out here, man. So this place ain't getting any smarter. I'll tell you that for nothing. You know, and yeah, it's just a lie, a big lie, a big fucking big ass lie, which is ain't nothing new because he's gonna be lying from get go. I'm sure we got Boris Johnson taking questions from people right now, lying through his damn teeth because he getting pressed about the Partygate scandal. So, but I'm sure he's lying through his teeth right now. So yeah, that's nothing new. But yeah, it's a lie, man. We're not buying into that lie that things are better, you know, under Esau, the so-called white man, because he's so great and we need him in the world, right? Because if we don't have the so-called white man, you know, things would just stop. Everything would just stop. Like no innovation, no nothing. Nothing will go on in the earth, man. We need the so-called white man. That's why he can't be destroyed. Now to hell with that. We do not need Esau, man. And the Most High knows that, right? He understands that, right? And so it ain't nothing for the Most High to destroy Esau at the end of all this, because yeah, he don't know what the fuck he's doing, man. Let's to be honest with you. You know, he don't know what the hell he's doing on the earth. Like he ain't getting nothing right. Right? This is not progress, man. This is dark ages. This is the true dark ages under Esau, man. This place is spiritually bankrupt. Right? It's more carnal than ever. You know, more carnal than ever, man. People just care about selfishness everywhere. It's like it's lust of the flesh everywhere. Okay, this place is dark, right? And it needs to go. Right? So everyone's corrupted their way upon the earth. Okay. This is Ephesians chapter 2 verse 3. So among whom also we had our conversation in times past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind. And that's all people are doing right now. Like I said, they got demons crawling up inside them, man. You know, making them think about food fucking 24/7, man. You know, and that's just a problem. That's a problem in the earth, obviously. You know, oh, I want to get the Big Mac. I want to get the fucking KFC. I want to get the pizza. I want to get this. I want to get that. Or I can't afford it. So I'm just buying cheap shit, and you know, it's fucked. It is. It really is. You know what I'm saying? All right. So yeah, people are just caving in to those cravings, the desires of the flesh. And like I said, I speak for myself, man. So it's, you know, it is what it is, man. You gotta fight. You gotta fight those demons, man. All right, and try and do something good for your body. You know what I'm saying? All right. It says fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. All right. So I'm just extending these scriptures, you know, to do with this obesity issue and this lack of progressiveness under the rulership of Esau. Because the scriptures say, man, that when the wicked are in rulership, the people mourn. Right, this is a mournful thing, man. And everybody that is like this side, you know, eating mad and is overweight and shit, man, they're fucking sad. That's why they're fucking eating, man. And it's a perpetual cycle because, like I said, they eat because they're sad because they eat. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, it's a never ending cycle for these dudes, man. It takes a good amount of willpower to kind of break that cycle and actually do something about it. You know? And like I say, Esau destroying people's willpowers right now. You know? This is from Sirach chapter 31 verse 12 on down, right? It says, if thou sit at a bountiful table, be not greedy upon it, and say not there is much meat on it. Remember that a wicked eye is an evil thing, right? We see things, right? We want things, and it might not necessarily be good for us, you know what I'm saying? So Saint, and what And what is created more than a wicked eye? Therefore it weepeth upon every occasion. Stretch not thy hand whitherso it looketh, right? And thrust it not with him into the dish. Judge not thy neighbor by thyself, and be discreet in every point. Eat as it becometh a man, those things which are set before thee, and devour not, lest thou be hated. Leave off first for manners' sake, and be not unsatiable, lest thou offend. You know, I say people are unsatiable, man. They just want, like in all things. You know, they're never satisfied, never content, and that's a trait of Esau. You know, if we're being real about it, you know, he's always unsatisfied. And not necessarily that he got a problem with fucking controlling his diet, but like he just sees and wants things all the time. And you know, when you're obsessed with food, right? That's how it is. That you always see and want something, and you're always putting your hand out to buy this and buy that, eat that, shove that in your mouth, and blah blah blah. You know, you probably go into some people's yards. They've just got a yard full of snacks, and they eat that all through the day. Like they probably don't take no breaks. You know what I mean? It's just one snack after the next snack. You know, and then dinner comes, and you know, lunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner, big ass plates. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man, that's destructive. And you're just snacking throughout the whole day as well. It's destructive, and you ain't do no exercise, no work. That's destructive, man. All right. A very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured, and this is the problem. We're not well nurtured, man. We're in the Esau's king. We've not been raised right. Okay, we're not being raised right in this system at all, right? And he fetcheth not his wind that's short upon his bed. Sound sleep cometh of moderate eating, right? Your sleep, because sleep's important, man. Your body starts repairing while you're sleeping and that, man. And some, we don't always get the best sleep, man. And a lot of that's to do with our diets, man. All right. See, he rises early and his wits are with him. Okay, he ain't sluggish. He ain't all messed up, right? So, but the pain of watching and choler and pangs of the belly are with him, with an unsatiable man. So he ain't never really at rest. He's never his body's never really easy. As Apostle Gilbar always puts it, man, the body's at dis-ease. That's where the word disease comes from, right? The body's not at rest. It's not at ease. So it's always struggling. It's struggling with the amount of food it's trying to fucking process, man, and the fucking toxins and shit. You know, that is being pumped through your fucking bloodstream. You know. Says if thou hast been forced to eat, you know, maybe you're at, I don't know, a particular occasion, I don't know, whatever, you know, and you know, it would seem impolite not to, you know, eat with others or whatever, I don't know. Right? It says, arise, go forth and vomit, thou shalt have rest. So, and you know what? Yeah, I completely understand this scripture now. Right? Because I've at times when you feel like you've eaten too much, right? And you know, your food just sits in like in the top of your stomach kind of thing, and it always feels like it's gonna come back up. And you're trying not to hold it down. Right? You're trying to drink some water, you're trying to hold it down, you're trying to, you know, not make nothing of it really. You know, you might be getting heartburn or indigestion or whatever, man. But I have found that, you know, if you just like, you know, go vomit up, man, you feel a lot better. You do. And that's, you know, rather than, I don't know, be stubborn about it, and, you know, you just get rid of it. Get it out of your body, man. It obviously don't want to be there. You know, your body's obviously full or whatever. It don't want to be there. Get it out of your body, man. Just vomit it up. You know, go to the bathroom, whatever, do your thing. You know, because like I said, it's obviously not, it's not sitting right with you, you know. So I feel like I understand that scripture, you know, better having, you know, experience certain things, that's important in this word, man. And it's the experience that you have, because we can read these scriptures, man, but we don't really fully understand. You don't really fully understand it, man, until you've experienced, you know, that you know, that scripture, man, until you've experienced it for yourself. All right, just a side note, right? It says, if thou hast been forced to eat, arise, go forth, vomit, and thou shalt have rest. You'll feel better, right? My son, hear me and despise me not. And at the last thou shalt find, as I told thee, in all thy works be quick, so there shall no sickness come upon thee. Okay, well, it goes into wine and stuff like that, drinking too much. You know, drinking too much, you know, it ain't good either. Okay, you drink moderately. All right. We're not out here trying to get smashed every fucking night. You know, waking up with headaches and shit. Can't function properly and whatever. Your gut ain't feeling too good. We ain't meant to be drinking, you know, to that kind of level, man. You know, drink was made to make man what words they use? Merry or happy or whatever, right? So, you know, it don't take a lot to get there. We all know that. You know, but yeah, over drinking it ain't something we're supposed to be doing, because we got a bunch of fucking drinkers and binge drinkers here in the UK, man, and their guts just purely because they drink fucking beer and shit. You know, not all day, but you know, a lot after work or whatever, man. They might not even eat a lot, but they got them beer guts, you know, because they man are just drinking. So they ain't healthy for you either. All right. So actually, I might just skip down and read this quickly. It says verse 27, wine is as good as life to a man if it be drunk moderately. Okay, so there we go. What life is then to a man that is without wine, for it was made to make men glad. Okay, so you know where they use it was glad and not merry, right? So wine measurably drunk and in season bringeth gladness of the heart and cheerfulness of the mind. But you notice a lot of people, you know, that have drinking issues, man, are depressed. It don't make them glad. All right. So these are bad signs. If that's not what it's doing, okay, then you shouldn't be drinking it, man, because obviously the effect is, you know, the effect it's having on you, man, ain't right. So, you know, you either drinking too much or your mind state ain't right for that, man. You know. But it says wine measurably drunk and in season bringeth gladness of the heart and cheerfulness of the mind. But wine drunk with excess maketh bitterness of the mind. Here we go, excess wine, too much drinking. With brawling and quarreling, arguments, fights. You know, you see that on a Friday night, man. You know, Friday, Saturday night, you see these guys out there. So drunkenness increases the rage of a fool. All right. Till he offend. It diminishes strength and maketh wounds, right? So you might feel like, you know, or knock any guy out, you know, these guys that get like that, right? But really, you're in a weakened state, man. Everyone knows you ain't throwing that hook as cleanly as you would have been able to throw it if you weren't drunk. Everyone knows this, right? But you feel, you know, the inhibition. That's the word. That's what I'm thinking about. The inhibition is gone or whatever it is, right? And you feel like, you know, you're on top of the world. You know, you fight fucking Mike Tyson or some shit, you know. But you're being blinded, right? You're made a fool. All right. So it diminishes strength and maketh wounds. Right. So rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despising not in his mirth. Right. You know, because if you're trying to, you know, address something, or you're trying to correct a brother or anybody, right, that's drunk, yeah, that probably ain't gonna work out too well, man, because he's not even of a sound mind to really take in what you're saying, man, without maybe getting too emotional, right? So if you're gonna want to deal with something, deal with things when a person's sober, man. Okay, not while they're drinking, man. And you don't want to fucking bitter up the fucking, you know, the scene, if you know what I'm saying, right? You know, you just want to get the fucking record scratch more, you know, because you said something, man, and everyone's like, fuck. You know, you just soured the thing up, man. Yeah, you want to do with something, do it when you're sober, man. Okay, don't do with shit when they're drunk. So, and despising not in his mirth, give him no despiteful words, and press not upon him, urging him to drink. Right? So, man, don't want to drink. Don't try and make man drink, man. All right, he knows what he's doing. He knows his body. He knows what he wants or don't want, whatever. So allow him. You know. So yeah, that was just on that. There was another scripture that mentioned dainties. How is it spelled? It's not gonna be like that. Daint. Nope. Don't think that'll come up. So I'm about it's spelled. Okay. Cool. Right? So let's have a look. Proverbs, maybe. So I think it's that one. Let's try this. Okay, it's not coming at what I thought I was looking for. But yeah, but dating is just things like sweets and pastries and pies and not that kind of stuff, man. And so we shouldn't be eating too much of that either. No, I can't find it. All right, so I'm gonna end it there anyway. Like I said, this is no progressive world, man. This world that Esau runs, man, is just crap. It's a big lie that people have bought into, that somehow this place is fucking great, man. And evidence is always the contrast to it. Like, the only people really living life in this world are the elites of Esau. That's it. Everybody's kind of really suffering, to be honest, and they're just, they're either blind to it or they just put on that brave face type shit and pretend nothing's going on, or things ain't so bad, or things could be worse. And yeah, you're right. They could be fucking worse. You're right. The damn sure gonna get worse. But life shouldn't be like this, man. Like, these things shouldn't be an issue. There's just half the world should not be overweight. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's this lifestyle that has been kind of pressed up on the world. That's why there's a fucking McDonald's in almost every fucking country, like, where McDonald's shouldn't even exist. You know what I'm saying? For something that's Western. But like I said, that's what Esau's doing, is infecting the earth, man, causing people problems. So with that, Lord, man, this was edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video, man. So till next time, I say shalom.